80% of all New Year's resolutions have now failed. That's right, you heard me correctly. 80% of all New Year's resolutions by the second week in February have failed. And while we've had the best intentions to implement and improve our lives, we've unable to stick to it. And if you're one of those 80%, you're definitely want to stick around for this video, as I'm going to be covering how you can make your habits stick better. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Matthew, and this is my channel where I share everything I've learned about real estate, finance, or personal development. So if you're interested in increasing your financial literacy, looking to invest in real estate, and want to learn more, or just become a more effective and efficient human being, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, as you're not going to want to miss out on any one of my future videos. Also, it would be really appreciated if you drop me a like, as it shows the YouTube algorithm you enjoy my content and helps me reach more people. So I first got interested in really self-development and financial books back in my second year in university. And when I look back, while there was a couple things I did really well, there was a lot of things I could have improved upon. One of the things I could have done is taking action sooner. As you see, knowledge is like a key, and a key is fantastic as it allows you to open doors. However, having that knowledge or that key doesn't mean that door is going to open up. And instead, you need to take that action, pick up that key, and open the door yourself. And by you opening the door is you taking action. And too many times when someone decides to take action, they're not just trying to open one door, they're trying to open multiple doors, making it harder for these habits to stick. And I know this is definitely what I did at the beginning. As I would garner up all this motivation, I'd say that I'm going to eat healthy, work out, study 8 hours a day, and all these things are great at improving my life. However, when you do them all at once, they're most likely none of them are going to succeed. And this is what happens out with people with New Year's resolutions, is they set the bar too high for themselves, therefore never able to develop a proper habit and install it into their lifestyle. So after a couple of years of learning self-development, consuming countless number of books, YouTube videos, and podcasts, I have come up with the 5 principles that help me establish habits into my routine on a regular basis and allow them to stick long term. As we all know, if you want to lose weight, make more money, or get healthier, you need to take actions every single day in order for that to become a reality. As if you only work out one time, you're never going to be skinny, as it's the process of working out over a long time span is when you start seeing results. The first thing you need to do in order to make your habits stick is to create a vision, as too many times people just go off and start goals with really not understanding why they're doing these goals. And a great example that I always remember and really allows me to put into focus why having a vision is so clear was this example of this community college I read about in one of my books. So essentially what it was this community college had a graduation rate of around 30%, and they were trying to figure out how possibly they could increase their graduation rate. So essentially what this community college did is they went out and found a behavioral specialist, and this behavioral specialist really didn't change anything about the community college except ask for the freshman class 2 basic questions. Why did they want that diploma that they were going to get, and what were they going to do with it after they had got it? And by simply asking these 2 questions, gave the freshman students a vision and a purpose for holding on to what their goals were. And as a result, the graduation rate went from only 30% to 70%. And that is the power of having a clear and precise vision. So by defining a clear vision, you're now defining your why. And as a result, you're going to have more motivation and more likely to stick to those habits. Now, also, when you define that vision or that why, you can really then find somebody that is living your ideal lifestyle and start to model backwards how they got there. As the best way for success is just to copy what is already working. Then when you find out who has that life you want to live, you can then set your goals and take daily actions on them to your greater and grander vision. The second principle I live by to make my habits stick is just to get 1% better each time. And I learned this while reading one of my favorite books, James Clear's Atomic Habits. Now, this one principle was groundbreaking for me, as at the very beginning of my self-development journey, I would have all this motivation to take on the world one week and try to eat healthy, work out, and study all day, every day. Now, what ended up happening is, while that motivation may last for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, however, it is not sustainable along the long run. However, with the 1% rule, you're able to build habits over the long run so that they're no longer habits that you want to build, but rather just integrated with your lifestyle. So this principle is really rooted in the idea of the compounding effect. And most often, you'll find the compounding effect when you're talking about compound interest. And Albert Einstein, even himself, once said that compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And with good reason, as when you start putting in the daily action, the interest on your interest can make interest. And then that interest can make even more interest and further down the road, creating this snowball effect. So to simply break down how powerful compound interest is, let's take this simple example. Let's say you have a monthly investment of $100 with a rate of return of 7% over 30 years. At the end of this 30-year term, you'll end up with about $122,000. However, you will have only invested $36,000. Now, at first, the results are very little, but over time, as that snowball gained and picked up steam and momentum, it grew and grew. Now, as you can see, according to James's model, after 1 month, you'll only be 37% better. However, after 6 months, you'll be 6 times better. And after 1 year, you'll be a grand total of 37 times better. Now, obviously, we can't measure your habits in these percentages, but the same principles do apply. And a quote that really stuck with me when I was reading this passage was that good habits make time your ally, where bad habits make time your enemy. So rather than trying to commit to taking the world on in 1 week, focus on starting with one goal and start it very simply. So if your goal is to work out and lose weight, don't start by trying to go to a gym every single day for 1 hour. Instead, maybe start with a 5 to 10 minute walk, just building up that habit of getting your gym clothes on and getting out the door and being active every single day. Then after a while, you can then start to ramp up your goal. Now, this doesn't mean you only have to go for a 5-minute walk, but the point is you want to commit to yourself that every single day you're going to go for a 5-minute walk. Then when you're on that walk, if you want to walk or run for a little bit, go for it. But the point is you want to start and lower the resistance for you starting these habits on a consistent basis. Now, while this principle is great, in reality though, you're gonna miss out on some of those days that you can't get that workout in, or can't meditate, or can't find the time to sit down and read. And that's really why this next principle was added to my toolbox, which is called the 2-day rule. This principle is a powerful tool for building those habits that you want to instill. And simply what it is whatever habit you're trying to build, you cannot miss out on 2 consecutive days. So if I do miss that one workout or that one meditation session during the week, that's all right, as long as I pick it up the following day. So this allows me to take off that day that I might need to extra time to work or just couldn't fit in that workout session. However, it does keep the momentum going of that compound interest, as I found it's extremely hard for myself to get going to the gym if I'm not in a consistent routine. However, if I've been going to the gym consistently, it's almost second nature and automatic to just go to the gym. So this principle really allows me to allow myself not to be perfect every day, but rather strive for progress over the long term. And if you do apply this principle effectively, then it will easily allow these habits you're trying to be built to be really installed in your lifestyle. While it may be hard to believe now, there will come a day where you couldn't believe that there was a stretch where you weren't doing this habit. The fourth principle that really helps me stick to my habits long term is altering your environment to better fit those habits you want to start and eliminate those bad habits you want to get rid of. You see, I have the self-control of a 4-year-old, especially when it comes to eating healthy. And this is one of the biggest things that I try to do on a regular basis, as I know for a fact, it only makes me feel better and I have more energy when I eat healthy. However, with that being said, when there's cookies, chips, or other sweets within the cupboard, you know for a fact that I'll be there eating them. So I know if I want to start eating healthier and cutting weight, I have to simply remove those things from my environment so I have no temptation to eat them. So if you're like me and you eat most of your meals at home, this could be a real game changer if you're trying to eat healthy. And I know this is a very simple thing. However, it also applies to other areas of your life. So another area that I really tried to build was reading on a consistent base every morning. However, I found that I would immediately reach for my laptop and start working. So to prepare my environment for the habits I wanted to build, I had now set out my book on top of my laptop every single night. Therefore, in the morning, I had to make a conscious decision of picking that book up and putting it to a side if I wanted to immediately start working, or pick up that book and go sit down and read somewhere. So what I'm doing here is I'm reducing the amount of resistance and keeping top of mind that habit I wanted to build. Now, the flip side could be true of something you want to eliminate. So for instance, let's say you want to eliminate the amount of time you spend watching TV. Well, a simple thing you can do is simply take that remote and remove the batteries and put it in a different room. Therefore, every time you want to watch TV, you have to get up and turn the TV on, or simply go to the other room and get the remote. And while this isn't going to deter you all the time from watching TV, it just increases the barriers and maybe makes it easier for you to choose that other option of maybe going out for a run. Also, with your environment, not only should you be reducing the barriers for those good habits and increasing the barriers for those bad habits, but you should also try to have your environment keep top of mind of your goals and visions that you're trying to achieve every single day. So that could be either sticky notes on the bathroom mirror when you wake up that you're going to look at. It could be the background of your phone's lock screen or your laptop. Regardless of what it is, you want to make sure that your goals and your visions and the purpose you're driven to stays top of mind so that you still have that motivation from the same day you wrote those goals down. The fifth and final and most recent principle I have added to my toolbox to allow my habits to stick long term is by having an accountability partner or group. As you see, you're way more likely to follow through on your commitments if you're committed to someone else rather than just yourself. And a simple example to this is you don't hear many people missing out on work. However, there's a lot of people that miss out on going to the gym. And the reason why this is when you're going to work, you don't want to let your employer down. However, when you're going to the gym, you're only accountable to yourself and more likely to slip in that area. So if you don't have an accountability partner or group yet, what I would suggest is that you go out there and you look for people that have the same mindset and drive as you, and then tell them your goals and tell them to hold you accountable. Not only will you be more likely to follow through with these goals, but you each can then rise to occasion and see what other people's goals are and habits that they're trying to install. Now, if you still can't find any like-minded individuals that are trying to strive towards the same goals, another simple example to make you more accountable is by using social accountability. Simply announce on social media everyone you talk to that you're going to lose 50 pounds in a year. And as a result, you're going to start feeling that you're socially accountable to do this, as now when people start seeing you, they're going to ask about that 50 pounds you had committed to losing. And essentially by having that peer pressure will essentially allow you to be more successful in the goals you're trying to implement. So not only will you be more likely to accomplish the goals you've set out, but you'll also be connecting with more like-minded individuals and you can all grow together. So there you have it. Those are the 5 principles I've picked up along the way that allow me to install my goals and my habits that I want to build to be a part of my lifestyle. Now, I would love to hear with which one you think is going to help you the most. So comment below which principle you're most excited to start implementing in your life. And if you gained any bit of value from this video, make sure to smash that like button, as it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're interested in becoming a more effective and efficient human being or anything to do with finance or real estate, as you're not going to want to miss out on any videos I'm going to be posting here in the future. Other than that, I hope you have a great and successful week, and I'll talk to you next week.